Well, a community shaken after a registered sex offender was arrested for crimes against a 5-year-old earlier this week. Tonight, one expert says our state sex offender registry has some flaws, which can allow people to slip through the system. Ryan Pontello of Clay was charged with rape, sex abuse, luring a child, and endangering the welfare of a child. Pontello committed the crime as an already registered sex offender, stemming from a 2013 arrest involving sex crimes against another child. He received a plea deal in that case, charging him with a misdemeanor. He then had to register as a level 1 sex offender, which shields most of his personal information from the public. It's a system that some say is flawed. Our Rachel Culver is live in downtown Syracuse near the Sheriff's Department tonight with more on the community concerns. Rachel?
Matt, the level of a sex offender here in New York State is largely determined by a risk assessment instrument. And one expert I spoke with say some of its potential flaws can be dangerous. The troubling news of a man luring a young girl off of a playground and committing sex crimes against her, leaving the central New York community scared and outraged.
So with being a mother, you're always on alert. You know, when your child is out, you don't want them to hurt themselves. You can turn your back for 1 second while they're playing and something tragic could happen.
New York uses a risk assessment tool to classify sex offenders as level 1 or low risk to level 3, high risk, based on a point system. An expert I spoke with is critical of this system due to its inability to accurately predict human behavior.
We have helped to advocate for changes to law to ensure that the community can access as much information as possible so that they can make informed decisions about who they want their children to have relationships with.
Here in New York, the personal information of all sex offenders is not publicly available, but that isn't the case across the country.
In Florida, the registry is available online, and the information that somebody might need to make a decision whether or not that's a person you want to have a relationship with, that's the assumption of risk they're taking. So instead of government trying to decide whether or not somebody is a risk to the community, we've always felt it's up to the community to make that decision on their own.
After such shocking news close to home, neighbors say while parents need to stay alert, it could be time for some systematic change.
Parents should be very aware because, you know, you always think, oh, this is not going to happen to my kid, and that baloney, you know, that's a bunch of crap, you know. They need to do something. I mean, instead of, you know, some of the stuff they do that doesn't make much sense, take care of these things, take care of these laws to protect little kids.
New York State records show that Onondaga County is home to more than 1,100 registered sex offenders, 40% of which are classified as level 1. But as Ahern tells us, the system that determines this could potentially have some flaws. In Syracuse, I'm Rachel Culver reporting.
Interesting to learn more about it, Rachel. Thank you.